Hi, this is Darren Jacklin, and welcome to SharingSuccess.tv and the really big interviews. Today I have an incredible guest I want to introduce to you in just a moment. You're going to want to grab a paper and a pen and take some notes throughout this incredible interview today. This gentleman is in high demand, and I'm very grateful to have him on our show today. Brad King has been referred to as one of the most influential health mentors of our time and is widely recognized as one of Canada's most sought-after authorities on nutrition, obesity, longevity, and men's health. Aside from being an inductee into the prestigious Canadian Sports Nutrition Hall of Fame, he's also the head sports nutritionist for Athletes United, one of the world's most esteemed sports organizations, and sits on the board of directors for CHI, the premier sports nutrition education center. Brad's depth of knowledge and sense of humor makes him a popular keynote speaker and receives testimonials on a daily basis from those whose lives he has changed. SharingSuccess.tv and the really big interviews is grateful. It is my pleasure to introduce to you someone at the top of his game, a nutritional researcher and best-selling author. Please welcome Brad King. Brad, how are you today?
Darren, I'm doing absolutely amazing. How are you?
Well, I am spectacular. It's great to have you. You're in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, a beautiful, beautiful city, one of my favorite cities in the world. And, Brad, it's so great to have you here today. Brad, what was the driving force that led you on your journey to want to help others achieve better health?
You know, Darren, I've been involved in the nutritional field for many years, probably most of my life, but I didn't really get into it in the way that I'm into it nowadays until I actually lost both my parents. And what happened was about 15 years ago, when I was a nutritionist, I wasn't really doing anything with the craft because at that time I was driven mostly for financial reasons. And I think a lot of people have done that in their lives where, they find something, they do something, but they're not really happy they're doing it, and they're doing it for the wrong reasons because they're driven for the financial gains. And, there's not really a lot of money to make in the nutritional field if you're actually a nutritionist and, you're dealing with one-on-one clients. But at that time, I realized that I loved nutrition, but it wasn't something that was going to really make me successful in the way that I wanted to be successful. And, then something happened in my life. 15 years ago, both of my parents, within a 6-month period of one another, died of cancer, which was a very big wake-up call for me. I was very, very close to my mother. My mother was one of my best friends, and she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, which is, a very, very fast-reacting cancer. And I remember going to the doctor with her, and she was one of these people that never went to the doctor. I mean, we know people like that, and you don't necessarily have to go to the doctor all the time, but she never went. And, the time she did go, she was diagnosed with this pancreatic cancer, and the doctor gave her 3 months to live, and literally 3 months to the day that the doctor, said this is the time you have left, she died. And my father died 6 months to the day my mother died, and a lot of that was because there was no longer that relationship, that love within his life. And, there's so much to say about relationships and the importance of those relationships that drive us throughout our lives and actually equate to how healthy we really are, because relationships are everything to us. And, I think that's one of the major reasons my father died, but that's what really drove me into research, into trying to find out, first of all, is there this genetic predisposition to disease? Because so many times in this day and age you hear people say, oh, I have cancer within my family, or I have diabetes, or I have obesity within my whole family tree, and no matter what I do, I'm eventually going to succumb to whatever my family heritage has succumbed to. And what we have to realize, and what my research has shown me conclusively, is your genes, this DNA, this blueprint, that's all they are. These are nothing more than blueprints upon which we build our unique life experiences. But for everyone listening, those life experiences are completely dependent upon us. and our dietary choices, our lifestyle choices, our environmental choices. And when I say environmental choices, Darren, I'm not just talking about, where you choose to live on this planet. I'm also talking about what you choose to allow into your life every single day, because that's your internal environment, and all of those aspects will dictate who we become later on in our lives and how healthy we really are.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you're highly successful in your field. Now, how do you ultimately gauge success?
Check out the really big interviews hosted by Darren Jacklin. Visit sharingsuccess.tv to learn from experts and leaders from around the world.